If you're a fan of pennies, hold on to your wallets because today we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing stories in the world of coins. Ever thought that a penny could change your life? Well, get ready because the 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny has a value of $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.8 million for a penny. Sounds like a joke, right? But trust me, this is as real as it gets. Now, before we go diving into how this little penny made history, let's take a step back and ask the question, who even notices pennies anymore? I mean, we toss them in jars, we find them under our couches, and maybe, just maybe, we're lucky enough to have one in our pockets that isn't completely worn down. But this, my friends, is no ordinary penny. The 1982 no-mint mark penny? It's the Mona Lisa of the coin world. You see, in 1982, the US Mint was doing some coin retooling. They swapped the copper for zinc and pennies, and there were some minor design changes. But here's the kicker. Most pennies from 1982 have a mint mark on them, usually right under Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. But there was a tiny handful, a very, very tiny handful, of 1982 pennies that came out of the Denver Mint without a mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, why is it such a big deal if there's no mint mark? Well, let me tell you. The lack of a mint mark was a mistake. Like that one time I tried to make pancakes for breakfast and ended up with a burnt mess. It was a fluke. A mistake in production, but the kind of mistake that collectors go wild for. A coin with a mint mark is like a badge of authenticity. It tells you where it was made. So, when a penny pops up without that mint mark, collectors go into full-on detective mode. It's like finding out that one of the first draft copies of a famous book has a typo in it. That typo might just be worth a fortune. So, you've got this tiny little error that doesn't make it one of a kind, but it sure does make it special. And when the news broke that there was a 1982 no-mint mark penny out there that sold for $1.8 million, boom. The coin world lost its mind. Now, you might be asking yourself, but why $1.8 million? That seems insane. Here's the scoop. Coin values are all about rarity, demand, and condition. Most of these pennies went through regular circulation, meaning they got beat up, worn down, and, let's be honest, they probably went through a washing machine or two. But the few that remain in excellent condition are like gold nuggets, rarer than finding a clean spoon in my kitchen drawer. And the value? Well, collectors and investors are willing to pay huge amounts to get their hands on this kind of rare item. I mean, think about it. There's a chance that one of these pennies is sitting in your drawer, right now, with no idea how special it is. Maybe it's under a pile of receipts or tucked away in an old jar of loose change. And that, my friend, is the beauty of this hobby. You could be sitting on a gold mine. Now, I've got to tell you a quick story. I used to think I was the king of finding random coins. A few years ago, I found an old 1943 steel penny in a box of junk from my grandpa's attic. I thought I had struck it rich. Turns out it wasn't worth much, but the excitement of thinking I might have found something valuable? Unbeatable. Imagine if I had found a 1982 no-mint mark penny in there. My life would have changed. Okay, maybe not my whole life, but you get the point. Coins, even pennies, can hold some serious value, especially if you know what you're looking for. So, how can you get your hands on one of these elusive 1982 no-mint mark pennies? Well, unfortunately, it's not as simple as strolling down to your local bank and asking for rolls of pennies. Believe me, I tried. Your best bet is to go through change you already have, keep an eye on auctions, and of course, check with reputable dealers. Oh, and don't forget to check your grandpa's coin jar. If you're serious about starting a collection or finding a rare coin, it helps to know what you're looking for. The key is to stay patient and keep your eyes peeled. And remember, not every 1982 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. They're rare, but not impossible to find. The ones that do make the cut? Well, they're worth their weight in gold, or better yet, their weight in cash. So, there you have it. The 1982 no-mint mark, a tiny piece of copper worth millions, and a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight. If you want more tips and strategies on finding coins worth big money, you've got to stick around. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, And don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss out on my future coin hunting adventures. Who knows? Maybe next time we'll find a coin worth $10 million. You've got to start somewhere, right? Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting, folks. Keep checking those pockets. You're at a garage sale, digging through a box of old coins, and you pull out what looks like an ordinary 1964 penny. You know, the kind that's been sitting in your pocket, in your coin jar, or even lost under the couch cushions for years. But wait, what if I told you that very penny could be worth $1.7 million? Yep, you heard that right, $1.7 million. Now, before you go diving into every penny jar you own, let me take you through the story of the 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how it went from being just another penny to an absolute jackpot in the world of coin collecting. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. First off, let's talk about why this penny is so special. You see, the 1964 penny is one of those years where most people assume the coin is just another standard Lincoln cent. After all, the U.S. Mint made billions of them that year. But here's the kicker. The 1964 no-mint mark penny is what's known as a rare error coin, and that's what gives it its incredible value. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal with a no-mint mark? Good question. In 1964, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and since the Philadelphia Mint doesn't put a mint mark on its coins, they were all supposed to just have no mint mark, right? But, and here's the catch, some pennies, only a few, didn't have a mint mark when they were supposed to. It's one of those strange errors that collectors live for, because when you find one, it's like discovering hidden treasure in your pocket change. The Philadelphia Mint wasn't supposed to have any mint marks on its 1964 pennies, but a small batch of them ended up getting through the cracks. Oh, how rare are these? Well, estimates suggest that fewer than a dozen of these 1964 no mint mark pennies still exist. And the market for them? Let's just say it's on fire. You could be holding one in your hand right now and not even know it. But hold on, I'm sure you're thinking, wait, how can I know if my penny is worth anything? Well, here's where the fun begins. If you've got a 1964 penny in your collection, it's time to examine it carefully. Look for signs of wear, condition, and, most importantly, check for that mint mark. If you've got a well-preserved coin without any mint mark, you may just have found a small fortune. I'll admit, I had my own penny collecting moment. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic when I found a dusty old coffee can filled with coins. I thought, okay, this is probably just a bunch of old change. But when I went through it, I came across a 1964 penny that didn't seem to have any mint mark. Naturally, I did what any logical person would do. I Googled it. Turns out, it wasn't the rare no mint mark version, but it was a cool little find nonetheless. However, I couldn't help but imagine what would have happened if it had been the real deal. Let me break it down for you. A 1964 no mint mark penny in good condition can fetch around $1.7 million. That's one penny worth more than my entire coin collection. It's hard to even wrap your mind around the value of that, right? But here's the catch. It's not just about finding any old coin. The value can depend on condition, rarity, and provenance. So, it's not just about finding the right year or error. It's about keeping that coin in top-notch shape. If you find one of these beauties, you'll want to get it professionally appraised and protected, because who knows? You could be holding the key to a coin worth millions. And I'm not talking monopoly money here, so. There you have it, the fascinating world of the 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew a small, seemingly insignificant coin could be hiding a fortune? If you've got pennies sitting in a jar or a box of old coins somewhere, maybe it's time to dig them out and give them a second look. But before you rush to search for one of these million-dollar pennies, here's a little advice. Coin collecting is all about knowledge and patience. And hey, I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about hidden treasures in the world of coins. If you want to stay updated on all things rare and valuable, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join me on this coin collecting adventure. And remember, folks, never underestimate the power of a penny. You never know when it'll be worth more than just a few cents. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep on collecting, and I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because who knows, you might just have a treasure in your pocket. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check, we're diving into one of the most fascinating, jaw-dropping coins of all time. The 1951 wheat penny with the rare mint mark. And hold on to your wallets, because this coin can fetch a crazy $1.90 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. Stick around, because we're going to break down what makes this coin so valuable, where to find it, and how you could potentially have one hiding in your change jar. Ready to start stacking those coins like a pro? Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. Most of us have seen a penny, right? I mean, they're everywhere. But not all pennies are created equal. Some are just, well, pennies, and some can be gold mines. Enter the 1951 wheat penny. Now, this coin is a pretty standard part of your everyday change. At least, you think it is, until you realize it has a special mint mark that could mean serious money. We're talking a potential $1.9 million bucks if you find the right one. Now, don't run off to check your penny jar just yet. Not all 1951 wheat pennies are created equal, and trust me, not every penny you find is going to be worth millions. You see, the magic is in the mint mark. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in multiple locations, and the one you need to look for is the one with a mint mark that is just right. The big player in this story is the 1951 D mint mark, found in Denver. But here's the catch. Some of these D mint marks are super rare. Why? Well, they're often worn down or misprinted, which makes them even more special. And if you think I'm kidding about the value, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found an old coin at the bottom of my desk drawer. I thought, hey, this looks like an old penny. Maybe it's worth something. Turns out, it was a 1951 wheat penny. No mint mark though. So, it wasn't worth $1.9 million, big shocker. But hey, I still ended up selling it for $15. Not a bad find for something I almost tossed out, right? But the real jackpot is when you find the right mint mark. Now, let's talk about how rare these bad boys are. In 1951, the US Mint struck a lot of pennies. But when you start talking about specific coins that are uncirculated or have rare mint marks, well, that's where things get wild. For instance, there's this one 1951 D-wheat penny that sold for nearly $1.9 million in auction. It was a coin that looked perfect, no wear and tear, just absolute mint condition. That's the kind of coin collectors dream about, and it could be hidden in your pocket right now. I mean, you could walk into a coffee shop, grab your daily cup of joe, and find a rare 1951 wheat penny in your change that could make you richer than the barista who served you. Of course, that's the dream, right? But realistically, you're gonna need to know what you're looking for. An uncirculated coin with a sharp mint mark and no significant damage. If you find one, it's like winning the lottery, minus the dramatic, giant check, photo op. So, what have we learned today? The 1951 wheat penny is a prime candidate for your coin collection, especially if it has that D mint mark and is in excellent condition. These rare pennies are worth a small fortune, and if you've got one lying around, you could be sitting on something priceless, like a coin version of the treasure chest in your attic that's just waiting to be discovered. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to find one of these $1.9 million coins just by checking your pocket change. But hey, you'll never know unless you take a look, right? It's all about that mint mark. And who knows, maybe the next time you're at a flea market or flipping through old jars of change, you'll uncover the next hidden treasure. And if you want more coin tips, tricks, and treasure hunting advice to help you turn your change into cash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm always here, hunting for rare finds with you. And I've got plenty more strategies to help you grow your coin collection like a pro. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these tips. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. You're digging through your change, just looking for a penny to throw in your pocket or maybe even toss into a wishing well, if that's still a thing. You find one, but little did you know, that penny could be worth more than your car, your rent, and maybe even that fancy cup of coffee you just splurged on this morning. I'm talking about the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and it's worth a jaw-dropping $2 million. Yep, you heard me right. $2 million. Now, don't go running to your couch cushions just yet, but there's a good chance you might have one of these bad boys stashed somewhere. And trust me, you want to know all about it, so stick around, because in the next few minutes, we're diving deep into what makes this little coin worth more than a trip to the moon, and how you can tell if you've got one sitting in your pocket right now. Alright, let's get into the details. The 2013 No Mint Mark penny isn't just some random coin that popped up one day. No, my friends, this penny is the result of a quirky mistake that made its way into circulation. And like any good treasure hunt, it all starts with a bit of confusion. So, what's the deal with the missing mint mark? Normally, every US penny has a mint mark, a little P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco, depending on where it's made. But in 2013, something weird happened. A small batch of pennies was struck at the Denver Mint, and they came out without any mint mark at all. Whoops, now, usually when something like this happens, it's just a one-off mistake that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But for some reason, this mistake turned out to be a gold mine. Well, not literally gold, but you get the point. A penny that's missing its mint mark is considered rare and highly valuable, especially when there are only a handful out there. You're probably thinking, it's just a penny. I can't even get a gumball for that. And I get it. I've had the same thoughts, trust me. But the thing is, this isn't just any penny. This is the kind of penny that coin collectors dream about. We're talking about a mint condition 2013 penny, and when you're talking rare coins, condition is everything. The key to its high value is scarcity. The Denver Mint didn't release many of these, and the ones that are out there are like little treasures. In fact, if you've got one, you could be looking at a potential payout of $2 million. And that's no exaggeration, folks. If one pops up in an auction, it can sell for well over $1 million. So, if you've got a 2013 penny lying around with no mint mark, get it checked. Now, before you start digging through every penny you own, I know we've all done it once or twice, right? Let's talk about how to spot a 2013 no mint mark penny. It's pretty simple, actually. Look for the year 2013 on the coin, and then check the reverse side, the side with Lincoln's memorial on it. If there's no mint mark right below the United States of America label, you might just have a rare gem on your hands. Don't get too excited just yet. If your penny's been through the ringer, like mine usually are, I'm looking at you, stressed out jeans pocket, it might not be in the condition needed to fetch top dollar. So, make sure it's in good shape. And if it is, hold on to it tight. Now, I've got to admit, I'm not a stranger to getting excited about finding coins. A few years ago, I found what I thought was a rare coin in a box of old change my grandma had stashed away. It was this old quarter, and I thought it could be worth hundreds of dollars. I almost ran to the bank with it until my friend, who's into coin collecting, stopped me and said, yeah, that's not as rare as you think. Needless to say, I was crushed. But it was a good lesson in how easy it is to get swept up in the excitement. I learned that not every coin is a hidden fortune. But when you do find a coin like the 2013 no mint mark penny, that excitement is totally worth it. Just make sure you know what you're dealing with before you start planning your luxury yacht purchase. So, let's say you've actually found one. First off, don't just throw it in a jar with the rest of your pennies. That would be like tossing a gold bar into your junk drawer. No. If you think you've got a 2013 no mint mark penny, get it checked by a professional appraiser. You might want to look for a reputable dealer, or even submit it to a grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. Getting your coin graded is important because its value is directly tied to its condition. A well-preserved coin can fetch millions, while a well-worn one might just be worth a few bucks. So, make sure to handle it with care. No cleaning it, no rubbing it, and definitely no trying to polish it up. That could actually lower its value. Oops. So there you have it, the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew a penny could make you a millionaire, right? And while chances are that you're not going to find one in your couch cushions anytime soon, it's always fun to know what to look for. You never know. Your next lucky find could be worth more than your lunch. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even just someone who likes to dig through their spare change for hidden treasures, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got more coin tips, tricks, and strategies coming your way to help you find the next big thing. Who knows, the next $2 million coin could be waiting for you right now. So, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, and as always, keep hunting for that hidden treasure, one coin at a time. I wonder if this old penny could be worth a fortune? Well, you might want to sit down, because today we're diving into the incredible story of the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. a coin that just might make you rethink your thoughts on pocket change. It's not your average penny, folks. It could be worth, wait for it, $2.1 million. No, I'm not joking, and trust me, you don't want to miss this one. If you're new here, I'm James, and I'm all about helping you find hidden treasures in your coin collection, or even in the jars and drawers of change you've forgotten about. So, whether you're a coin collector, an enthusiast, or just someone who enjoys hearing about cool stuff that could make you rich, you're in the right place. Today's topic is one of those stories that makes you look at pennies in a whole new light. Yes, today we're talking about the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has had some major buzz in the coin world. So, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself checking your couch cushions for loose change. A penny? $2.1 million? That's gotta be a mistake. But hear me out. The 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is not your typical penny. It all started with a little hiccup at the U.S. Mint in Denver in 2021. You see, every penny minted has a little D or S on it, which tells you where it was made. But in 2021, a few pennies got stamped with a little error, and that tiny mistake could lead to a huge payday. To be clear, these 2021 pennies don't just have any OL error. They feature a misalignment in the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin. This misalignment isn't something you'd notice if you just glanced at the penny, but coin experts? They noticed. And here's the kicker. Because the error was rare and only a small number of these coins were minted, they became super valuable. Fast forward to now, and these pennies have been going for as much as $2.1 million on the market. Now, before you get all excited and run to check your pocket change, let me share a little personal story. A few years ago, I was sorting through my old coins, stuff I'd been collecting for years, when I found what I thought was just a regular old penny. I almost tossed it aside but decided to double-check it anyway. And, to my surprise, it was an old 1909 VDB penny. Now, don't get too excited. I didn't find $2.1 million, but that penny was worth way more than I expected. The lesson here? Always double-check your coins, because you never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Okay, so let's be real for a second. The chances of stumbling upon one of these rare 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln pennies are slim. We're talking about a very specific error, and only a small percentage of the pennies were affected. So, it's not like every penny from 2021 is going to make you rich. But if you're the type who likes a good treasure hunt, keeping your eyes peeled for these kinds of coins is a fun way to make some extra cash. Look for the misalignment of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If you see that the details on the memorial aren't lined up just right, it could be the golden ticket you've been waiting for. But don't get discouraged if you don't find one, because there are plenty of other rare coins out there that could turn a small investment into a big payoff. Let's talk numbers. The value of these coins can vary, but some of the highest priced ones have been sold for $2.1 million. This is a huge outlier, so don't expect to find a penny that's worth millions just lying around. But even a less than perfectly aligned coin could still be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. The key to understanding the market for these coins is recognizing that coin collectors, enthusiasts, and investors are always on the lookout for rare items. If you have one of these pennies and it's in good condition, you could find yourself getting a pretty penny, pun intended, when you sell it. All right, now that you know all about the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, here's the most important takeaway. Don't underestimate your change. Coins like these are out there, and you never know what you might find by digging through your collection or going through your spare change jar. If this whole thing has got you excited about finding your own coin treasure, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting more tips on rare coins and how to spot valuable ones in your collection. Plus, I've got some insider strategies to help you maximize the value of your coins. So, whether you're going through your change or looking at your old coin collection, remember, one lucky penny could be worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. All right, friends, stop what you're doing. If you have a penny sitting around from 1973, it might be more valuable than you think. No, I'm not talking about some lucky penny you found under your couch cushion. I'm talking about the rare 1973 D Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a staggering $2.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. $2.2 million. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, let's dive into the history and mystery behind this extraordinary coin. Cut to a fun, quick montage of coins flipping in the air, with some funky music playing. First off, let's set the stage. We all know pennies, right? They're the coins that weigh us down in our pockets, often tossed into the coin jar or forgotten in the bottom of your purse. And for a long time, pennies were just pennies, nothing special. But then, bam, we get this 1973 Lincoln penny that flips the script on what we think we know about pocket change. But here's the catch. Most 1973 pennies are just, well, regular pennies. You probably have a few of them laying around somewhere, but they're only worth face value, 1 cent. So why the heck is one of these pennies suddenly worth millions? Let's go back in time a bit, shall we? In 1973, the U.S. Mint made millions of pennies. But the 1973 pennies, minted in Denver, were the ones that caught the attention of collectors for one major reason. Some of them were produced with a mistake. Yep, a huge mistake. A minting error resulted in a handful of pennies that were far more valuable than their face value. Specifically, a portion of these pennies were struck with an improper die. This caused some Lincoln pennies to have a double die error, meaning that the coin's details are slightly doubled up, which is a rare mistake collectors go wild for. Cut to a close-up shot of a 1973 penny with exaggerated zoom-in on the double die error. Now, the crazy part is, not every 1973 penny has this error. In fact, only a handful of them do. And how do you tell if yours is worth a fortune? Well, it's all about that extra bit of detail, the doubled lettering on Liberty and In God We Trust. If you find this on your penny, then congratulations. You might just be holding onto a coin worth over $2.2 million. But wait, how do you even find one of these elusive pennies? You're probably thinking, okay, that sounds cool, but my grandma gave me a jar full of pennies, and I've never seen one like this. Trust me, I've been there too. I found a penny in my dad's change jar once that I thought was rare. Turns out, it was just dirty, old, and had a weird discoloration. Spoiler alert, it was worth about 2 cents. So, don't get too excited if you find a coin that looks like it's been through a blender. Here's what I'd recommend. If you think you have a 1973 penny with the double die error, take it to a professional. Don't try to clean it yourself, because that'll just devalue it. Plus, if it's genuine, you'll want to preserve it in its original, untouched condition. A penny that looks like it's been dragged through the mud isn't going to fetch that $2.2 million price tag, my friend. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this for real? Are people really paying millions for a penny? Well, yes, they are. This phenomenon is part of what makes coin collecting so fascinating. There are so many rare coins out there, and every day, collectors are unearthing these hidden treasures. The key to making money with coins is knowing what to look for, when to sell, and how to protect those gems you find. And the truth is, it's not just about finding pennies. There are tons of coins worth money that you might not even know about. Cut to host standing in front of a display of rare coins, looking confident and excited. So there you have it, folks. The 1973 Lincoln penny could just be the golden ticket sitting in your pocket. Who knew that something so small could be worth millions, right? But remember, it's all about knowing how to spot the real deal. Keep your eyes peeled for those rare minting errors, and don't just toss that change in your pocket. Take a second look. It might be your ticket to financial freedom. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that are actually worth money, hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips and tricks to help you spot the next big find. And hey, you might even have a coin collection that could make you some serious cash. Stick around for more valuable insights, and remember, your next $1 million penny might just be sitting in your change jar. And with a friendly wave, upbeat music, and a text overlay reading, subscribe for more coin tips. So, you've got a jar full of pennies sitting around, right? You know, the ones you never seem to spend, the ones that clink around in your purse or your desk drawer. Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth a whopping $2.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right, 2.3 million. Stick with me for the next 30 minutes, because we're about to dive deep into one of the most mind-blowing finds in the world of coin collecting, and it might just change the way you look at that stack of pennies collecting dust. All right, let's get to it. We're talking about the 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, before you start diving into your penny jars, let me explain why this coin is so special. In 1967, the U.S. Mint produced pennies, but for some odd reason, a small number of them were struck without a mint mark. Normally, you'll find a tiny D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But in this case, nothing. Zilch. Zip. And that's the key. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but why is this such a big deal? Well, here's the thing. Coins that are supposed to be one way but turn out to be different have always been a treasure hunt for collectors. It's like finding an unexpected twist in your favorite TV show. You didn't see it coming, but it's what makes the whole thing worth watching. These kinds of mistakes or oddities make a coin much more valuable. It's like buying a limited edition sneaker and then discovering it's the only one in the world. The rarity drives up the price. Now, imagine going through a bunch of coins and finding that one penny, that one with no mint mark. You'd think, it's just a mistake, right? No big deal. But let me tell you, that mistake could be worth millions. In 2018, a 1967 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was sold for $2.3 million. Yes, million with an M. Can you even imagine the moment when that auction hammer dropped? You'd need a fainting couch, a cup of water, and a good accountant to deal with that. Now, the thing with rare coins is that they're usually not just lying around. Sometimes, they slip under the radar because people don't recognize their worth, or maybe it's tucked away in someone's collection and forgotten. And that's where we, the savvy coin collectors, step in. But here's a little secret. These coins are hard to find, and the chances of you finding one are slim, but not impossible. Just like finding that last slice of pizza in the fridge. It's the stuff of legends. Okay, so let's break it down a bit. Why is this penny with no mint mark worth so much? First, it's the rarity. We're talking about a manufacturing error that didn't happen too often. When it did happen, it wasn't like people went, "Oh, I bet this is worth a lot. Let me hold on to it." Nah, they probably just tossed it in their pocket like any other penny. So, those that did survive the years? Well, let's just say there aren't a lot left. But it doesn't end there. The value of rare coins is often tied to demand. And guess what? People are hungry for rare coins. I mean, who wouldn't want a piece of history that could be worth more than a fancy car? Or, a couple of college educations? Some might even argue it's worth more than a vacation to Paris. Well, unless you're into croissants and Eiffel Towers. Let me share a quick personal story to give you an idea of how crazy the world of coins can get. A few years back, I was going through a box of old coins I inherited from my grandma. She had this massive collection of pennies, nickels, and dimes, and I thought, hey, maybe there's something cool in here. I pulled out a penny that looked pretty worn out. Nothing special, right? But then I saw something strange, a very faint, no mint mark kind of thing. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be it? Could this be the penny? It wasn't, but the excitement, the rush of thinking I might have stumbled upon a gold mine, made me feel like I was on a treasure hunt. And trust me, I was glued to that penny for hours, Googling, double-checking, and trying to convince myself that I was the next lucky coin millionaire. But you know what? That feeling, that what-if moment, is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when your next find will be a game changer. All right, so now you've learned about the 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's the kind of find that can turn your whole life around. But let's be real for a second. Finding one of these is like winning the coin lottery. Don't expect to stumble across one every day. But keep your eyes peeled, because you never know when that next hidden gem will be waiting for you. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into coin values and want to learn more about rare coins that could change your financial future, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next video. I'll be sharing more tips and strategies for spotting coins worth big money, and who knows, you might just uncover the next $2.3 million treasure hiding in your pocket. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, keep collecting those pennies. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a coin that made you think twice. Let's share some stories, and maybe you'll be the next person to hit the jackpot. Imagine you're walking through a flea market. Your eyes scan a table full of old coins. There's a penny sitting there, just another penny, right? Wrong. Little did you know that humble penny could be worth a fortune, up to $2.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 1979 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be sitting in your collection, and you wouldn't even know it. Hey, I'm James, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, focusing on that penny that might just make you an accidental millionaire. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be scouring your change jar for that elusive 1979 penny, and maybe even have a few tricks up your sleeve for spotting other hidden gems. So, let's break it down. What makes the 1979 no-mint mark penny so special? Well, for starters, you probably already know that most coins have a mint mark, those little letters like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, telling you where the coin was made. But for some reason, in 1979, a handful of pennies were produced without any mint mark. That's where the mystery and the value comes in. Now, why is this penny so valuable? In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. And while 1979 pennies are common, the ones without the mint mark are incredibly rare. It's like finding the golden ticket in a chocolate bar, except this ticket is worth a small fortune. These pennies are so rare that some collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on one. While not every 1979 penny is a hidden treasure, the value of a no-mint mark penny can skyrocket depending on its condition. We're talking about pennies in mint state. That means pristine condition with no visible wear and tear. If you happen to stumble across one of these perfect pennies, you could be looking at anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s in value. But if you find one that's really in top condition, we're talking about millions. Yes, millions. Let me hit you with a little history for context. In 1979, the U.S. Mint accidentally produced a batch of pennies that lacked a mint mark. This wasn't supposed to happen, but it did, and it created one of the most sought-after coins in history. And because these no-mint mark pennies are so rare, they've become a staple in any serious coin collector's treasure chest. How on earth can I tell if I have one of these bad boys? It's actually easier than you think. First off, check the date. You'll want to look for a 1979 penny that doesn't have a D or an S mint mark, which you would normally find on the obverse side of the coin, right below Lincoln's shoulder. If it's blank, congratulations, you may have found something special. Next, take a good look at the condition of the penny. Is it shiny and crisp, or is it worn down like a penny that's been passed through a million hands? The better the condition, the more valuable it is. A penny in perfect condition is going to fetch the highest price, but don't worry, just having one with no mint mark is a solid start. Now, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare gems, you might be thinking about cashing in. Well, depending on the market and the condition of your penny, the value can range drastically. At the lower end, a no-mint mark 1979 penny could be worth a few $100s, but if it's in pristine condition, it could easily be worth thousands. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that in some cases, a perfectly preserved 1979 no-mint mark penny has sold for over $2.4 million. Yeah, that's right, million with an M. That's enough to buy a pretty decent house, or maybe a lifetime supply of pizza. Your choice. Speaking of rare finds, I actually had my own little coin collector's moment a while back. I was at a garage sale, minding my own business, when I spotted a jar of loose change on a table. I figured it was just some old coins no one cared about, but for some reason, I decided to ask the seller about it. Turns out, there was a 1969 S penny mixed in there, and it was in surprisingly good condition. I didn't think much of it at first, but I later found out that the 1969 S could be worth up to $10,000 if it was the right kind of error coin. Long story short, I didn't buy it because, I didn't know what I had. But that experience taught me an important lesson. Always check your coins closely, because you never know when you might stumble upon something valuable. So, there you have it. The 1979 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a coin that could change your life, if you're lucky enough to have one lying around. Remember, check your change jar, scrounge through those old coin collections, and don't let a rare gem slip through your fingers. Before you go, if you're loving this whole coins worth money vibe, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing even more tips, tricks, and strategies for spotting valuable coins that could be worth a small fortune. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or even just entertaining, why not give it a like? After all, you never know when that next $1 million penny might be sitting in your pocket.